Jimmy V Classic, presented by Corona. We are here inside Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, here in Midtown Manhattan for a great doubleheader of basketball. That's the fun part, but we are here most importantly for the 25th consecutive year with the Jimmy V Classic to honor the legacy of Jim Valvano in his fight and all of our fight. They sure do, but last year's game was mentioned at today's shoot-around. It is on the minds of the coaching staff of the Red Raiders. Our officials, Doug Sermons, Michael Stevens, Mike Roberts. This is V-Week on ESPN, the Jimmy V Classic here with the Garden. You can donate now at v.org/donate. The Cardinals in white, the Red Raiders in red, and we are ready for the first of two here at Madison Square Garden.
Well, Dan, you mentioned that game last year that Holly Rowe just spoke of with Texas Tech when they got the standing O. There's a little high-low immediately. Louisville going inside where they have the advantage, and they're trying to take advantage of it against Louisville.
And one thing they're going to have to do, as you mentioned, there's an advantage inside for Enoch and Louisville. Texas Tech doesn't really have anybody who can match up size-wise with Enoch, who is one of three fifth-year
transfer from UConn. Averaging started off the season so strong. He had 56 points in his first 3 games, but over the next 5, only 25 points total.
Best player on the floor, Jordan Nwora. He misses the 3. Offensive rebound, Enoch. Slips inside with a left hand, and he's got all. Here's another good look by Clark, but another missed jumper by Holyfield, who's had a couple of good looks already.
Well, Holyfield has to score if Texas Tech is going to win this game. 2 guys have to score, Holyfield and Clark.
On every possession. Last 3 games, again, 2 of them, as Jay mentioned, without Jamias Ramsey, their leading scorer, and he missed part of the 3rd game as well. And their last 2 losses both came in overtime.
Go down, but that was good offense. This is a team that runs a ton of motion, so it's a lot of down screen, back screen, fade screen action.
Nwora misses the 3 in the corner. Down with the rebound is Clark, and this is what he can do. He can get the board, he can bring it up the floor, and he can make a play at the other end.
A point. Good game. He had a double-double against Pittsburgh. I think he had 13 and 11.
Yeah,
played really, really well.
Yeah, right foot injury, was out about 8 weeks. Returned November the 20th.
Good pass.
He can shoot the 3 a little bit too. Now Nwora down in the post and draws the foul. To win the national championship.
Top game of the 20th century. Offs. Once you hand it off, you have to stay stationary. The referees ring you up all the time. It's almost like calling charges for them. They love it.
Dwayne Sutton lost it, got it back, and lays it in.
Great defense this season. The way they stifled Michigan was incredibly impressive. Good pass.
And a good extra pass to Nwora in the corner, and he extends the lead. Never been any question the last couple of years about his play at the offensive end.
Boy, another terrific job by Malik Williams to help on the ball screen, then recover.
And now looking forward inside over Savrasov. And Savrasov is called for Saturday on ESPN.
Starting to play better and better. And John Calipari talking to his team about E.J. Montgomery had a terrific game, his last one at 25.
Another contest inside, offensive rebounded by Holyfield, who's checked back into the game. Great cut, great find, and the bucket for Samuel Williamson, freshman at McDonald's All-American, puts up an air ball. Back comes Clark. Edwards knocks it down. Little run here for the Red Raiders.
Advantage Louisville. That was not a good shot by Nwora.
You mentioned Clark averaging about 6 assists per game. Just picked up his first tonight.
Drive it.
Instead, Edwards again knocks down another one, and this one's a 3 to tie the.
Louisville in this game, Dan, needs to take better shots. Their shot selection has not been as good as they need it to be, and they're not getting the ball into the paint as much as they need to get it. And right now, this is a team in Texas Tech that is on a roll. That was a really good cut off the double screen.
3 charges so far. Get to a stop. Don't let.
On the air, on Twitter, and so forth.
Ball away. Picked up his dribble instead of dribbling out of it and just tossed it out of bounds.
Davide Moretti with a turnover for Texas Tech to give it back to Louisville. Stopping on a dime is Perry, but another tough shot, and then a challenge at the rim by the.
Yeah, Chihuahua gave a great block out.
Clean look. Edwards. Followed by Benson. Somehow it goes, and the Red.
Nobody blocks him out. He's a lefty. He tipped that in with his left hand because he was just playing harder. Now he's got Benson's guarding Nwora. And he's face guarding him. Spackler and Caddyshack. But what would you say
by you? What about you? What's your
Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
I loved him. It can be to people who come, you know, he's got to get a lot of people yelling at him on the street. Little triple screen. Boy, Clark's wide open. There it is.
Moretti finds Clark, can't get the shot off. Back to Moretti. Nice little fake on Johnson. Tough floater, 4-point lead.
Tech team. And when Jamias Ramsey gets back, I mean, he's leading him in scoring is 17 points. This is going to be a top 10 team again.
A freshman out with a hamstring injury. A year has worked himself into a bigger role.
Screens.
Good matchup here. Clark and Wara.
Good defense by Wara to move his feet and cut off the baseline.
And Holyfield needs help. Good defense by Williams. Clark will put it up and knock down a long
violation and another turnover.
Fresh Kimball, grad transfer from St. Joseph's, backup point guard. Jumper over Benson, no good. And
called a foul on Holyfield.
Is it on Holyfield?
Lockout stuff because it's going on all over the floor. It's difficult to call.
Archie Miller, Danny Hurley. You talk about intense guys.
Get rich off coaches like those two. Now that Gary Williams is no longer at Maryland.
Yes, no longer the clubhouse leader.
They needed somebody to step forward.
Well, don't knock Buzz Williams off that pedestal so quickly. Savrasov with a corner three. The red shirt.
Ash did it with the Suns taking it all the way to the other side of the basket. Guys are keeping their dribble alive, and that's a really smart thing to do.
Jay, we played almost 14 and a half minutes, and Louisville has 3 field goals, and for the second time tonight, out of every moment that he is in the game, and his
almost like he shames his teammates to joining him in how hard he played and not making Texas Tech guard like they should, and the ball is not going inside. Now you credit Texas Tech's defense, but Louisville's contributing to some of their offensive issues because they are not doing a good job.
Boy, great feed from Edwards to Moretti and the.
But especially, they have taken some questionable shots. And out of a timeout, you think they're going to be a little more focused to get the ball inside. There's a screen by McMahon to screen Enoch into the low post. A terrific screen.
Triple teamed, and he scores anyway.
Enoch, and that's a little on big screen. It really forces Texas Tech to have to switch that screen.
3 won't go for Edwards, and Savrasov is called for the foul.
At least it got the ball inside to a big guy where they have extended periods.
And as we mentioned, especially for a high major team, this is about as good looks, especially by Moretti, that haven't gone down. Right back into Enoch, and he gets a very favorable bounce.
Really soft shot, but I still think Enoch could have powered that to the bucket. He had McCullough on him, and that is a great advantage for him. Good call by the official here because to
the country last year. Let's get the respect in the national championship game.
But they lost a lot.
Yes.
And given a zone look, but you still need to run your man offense against this because it goes back to man immediately. There's such good help with this Texas Tech defense. All eyes are on the ball. Everybody's touch.
Chris Beard, a guy who has coached at literally every level in his career. At one point was an assistant under Bob Knight at Texas Tech. How much Texas Tech team?
Quite a bit. And Chris wasn't with them back in the Indiana days, but quite a bit. And especially with their screening action and in their motion offense.
Good block from behind by Malik Williams.
That was a little back screen right at the free throw line. He was wide open.
Williamson, baseline feed, Wara, rejected by Benson. 2 great offensive rebounds and a very impressive block shot right there.
He just plays so hard and so alert.
See if they can get Moretti going. Slips through a double team, can't get the bounce. Follow, though, will go for Shannon, and a kick is open. The Terps are on the road at Penn State. And a preview of Game 2 tonight between the Hoosiers and the Huskies. UConn and Indiana in Game 2 tonight. McMahon wide open.
Can't leave him. Can't leave him. Moretti came off.
That is his 26th 3 of the season. This is the 10th game for Louisville.
Well, Ryan McMahon is one of the, he's a 50-50-90 guy.
Enoch. Boy, has he got skill. You're right. Nobody has separated themselves from the herd.
If you are healthy and playing well at the end of the year, you're going to have a chance.
Shannon saddled with fouls early in the half, making the most of his minutes in
corner. That was just simple action coming off a little screen right around the top of the key free throw line. He was able to turn the corner, get all the way to the bucket. Nobody picked him up. That's just way too easy.
Long 2 by Wara, misses badly. Williamson can't save it.
And all the way to the bucket. gets Terrence Shannon Jr., the lefty, and go into that left hand.
And Texas Tech will milk the clock a little bit with about a 5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Which means they can take it all the way down to near zero and still have time for an offensive rebound, even a kick out if they get it.
Moretti forces up a difficult shot, and it'll be Louisville ball.
Lead right now because they have played so hard in this first half.
Kimball trying to get all the way to the glass, and Benson with another block. What a half he had.
He's like Elijah. Guys blocking shots left and right. Avery Benson was the star of the first half. For
tide is Stephen Enoch as we take a look now at the Vanguard halftime stats. They are not flattering to Louisville. Just 28 points in the first half. They shot only 29%, and they got out-rebounded by the smaller Red Raiders as well.
Texas Tech can attack the basket more and get all the way to the, there it is, get all the way to the rim. In the first half,
I can't tell you what a burst he had.
NBA talent.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Run at Xavier now in his second year with Louisville. And look how far they've come in just a couple of years after all the NCAA allegations and so forth. Enoch the kick. Sutton is wide open. Can't hit the three. Wara's on the glass and lays it in.
Just overpowered. He's got Holyfield guarding him now.
Here comes McMahon. They can't get it to him. Sutton picks up his dribble and needs some help and turns it over.
A weak play, but a great play by Texas Tech.
Wow, and Moretti with a really nice pass to Clark spinning. Nice look. Elbow jumper. Holyfield around and out.
Holyfield's not shooting the ball. He's guiding it. And he's too good of a shooter to let that happen.
High percentage look, and they needed that.
Something we've seen in this game, a lot of transition opportunities for Louisville. But running the floor, playing ahead of this Texas Tech defense, you don't have to grind it out.
Wide open, Moretti didn't get the pass. Edwards didn't see him. Now a step back jumper is there for Kyler Edwards.
Directly to cancer research, 100%.
Once more in the V Foundation in the second game tonight. Dick Vitale will be along for the Indiana-UConn game. Should be a good nightcap. Nice look inside. Wara's got a chance for three.
From the weak side, but a terrific job from Louisville.
3-point shooting numbers, Jay. Both teams at 17% on the night.
I refuse to look at it. It's going to burn my retinas. Look, no defense is that good. A lot of this has just been bad shooting and bad shot selection. Perfect fit. You have rivalries that you're used to and fans are used to.
A different looking Big East in many senses, of course, than it used to be, but still a great fit for UConn. Long jumper. It's a 2 for Kyler Edwards.
What a bad play by Jordan Moore. He's too good of a player to have this happen.
Shannon slips and gives it back over to Louisville. Long look ahead. Tough one. And a foul called on Benson, and it's in the act of shooting. Wara will go to the. And just to clean this up, Jay, 1 of 2 for Wara. Minutes this year for Texas Tech. Wara slips.
It's got to be something with the floor. We're seeing way too much of this.
Holyfield lays it in. What a nice.
I think you're worried about confusion being avoided for announcers.
Yeah, no, it's just confusion reigns over me, so I'm drawn to it. Moretti finally gets one to go down, and
I think they're learning right now to cut with a purpose and get the ball moving more, but
and Moretti knocks down another one, his second in a row. Texas Tech.
Anytime that Texas Tech uses Davide Moretti as a screener, you know he's going to get a screen. That ball looked like it might have been up on the rim, but a terrific tip in.
Cannot impose its will on the interior more than they have tonight.
Well, Davide Moretti is looking like a confident scorer and looking to take a swing at Louisville every time he catches the ball.
Shannon cradles, drives, and draws the foul.
Quickly, he's on a dead run coming off that double.
Came down, hit a 3, sent the game to overtime, and won.
Just that free throw. They gave up a wide open 3 on the other end and then didn't get a shot with 7 seconds left to go.
Boy, a couple of Red Raiders just went tumbling to the court trying to put the brakes on and get back on D. And a block is the call underneath against Holyfield.
Dan, that was a great call. That was
You subscribe to the theory that when in doubt, it's a block, right?
Took the ball down to the floor to keep his balance so he didn't walk.
And again, his first instinct is always to pass the ball. Wara, he is fouled. This time it'll be
foul disparity. the rim to get a chance to get to the free throw line more often.
Doesn't this feel like a big couple? The #1 team of the nation, 0-6 in program history.
That was a settle for Texas Tech. That step back. Ball's got to go
they
inside.
got Williams, yeah. Whoa. And literally on the back of Williams was.
And the size of Louisville is going to Enoch via the pass and let them go to work down low.
Williams, long jumper, and it's good, and it's down to a 4-point.
Started, then they'll go motion.
Who's going to take the shot? Clark doesn't want to, fumbled the pass. Shot clock down to 5. Now he'll put it up and bury it for 3. V Classic presented by Corona. You can donate at v.org. An iconic program at Louisville. Texas Tech, the national runner-up a year ago. We got Indiana and UConn still to come. All as a backdrop, if you will, for why we're really here, which is to raise as much money.
Phil Martelli now an assistant to Juwan Howard at Michigan.
Clark with a size advantage on Kimball. Benson off the glass. It'll go, and a foul.
Chris Beard tell Holly Road just before halftime he trusts all his players.
Not a great shooting night for either team. We expected it to be a physical defensive affair.
And Chris Clark having to guard Enoch. They need to go inside.
Wow, McMahon, quick trigger, not there.
Clark operating essentially as the point guard out on the floor. Getting a little back pick up top.
Shannon tells Clark to go away. Does he want to go one-on-one here with Enoch? Drive and kick. Shot clock at 3. Moretti fouled. Foul was before the shot attempt. And they're not on the bonus yet.
Yeah, I don't think Moretti agreed with that.
Holyfield. Needs some help. Finds Shannon. Elevates but misses the 10-footer, and it's Louisville ball. Perry with a burst of speed. Gets it to go.
That was essentially 1-on-4.
Jay for Darius Perry. Down to 6.
Davide Moretti is getting bumped all over the place when he's trying to make cuts.
Big minutes for the freshman, Terrence Shannon Jr. Everything but the finish right there. What a great drive.
Well, Texas Tech is not getting anything off its offense. They are trying to make individual plays. Set. And then a ball screen.
And a foul.
Yeah, that's not the place that you want to foul. You may be able to question a decision here their players made, but you can't question the effort. Nice cut.
And a bucket for Holyfield. Another assist for Clark.
And that's exactly what happened to Louisville there. Didn't jump to the ball, and all of a sudden Holyfield's laying it in as a result.
Still 3.5 minutes to go. Moretti creates a little space, can't get the shot off. What an upset this would be. Again, they were ranked last week before a couple of overtime losses, and they're playing without their leading scorer. Moretti the miss. Offensive rebound, McCullough. Still loose and finally belongs to Louisville.
Look at these guys fight. I mean, Malik Williams a little slow getting down the floor. Now Chris Mack going to call a set.
Perry gets inside, adjusts, and is called for the offensive foul. Holyfield stepping in.
He is going to cut right across the defender's face because Malik Williams, not paying attention, didn't jump to the ball. The country.
Here comes pressure from Louisville.
It was a good job by Holyfield to come back to the ball so that Texas Tech could get the ball in.
Edwards gets it over. It will stay with.
Where they could turn the ball over.
Clark, a big decision maker. A lot of the offense runs through him. And to back out to the experienced Moretti. He wants a ball screen.
Wonder if they'll trap every ball screen.
Holyfield spinning. Shannon with one on the shot clock.
What a big-time shot. Is a baller. That is a winning play right there. Got to switch. Got to look inside to Williams.
Over the top, Williams. And he lays it in. But the clock continues to tick. It is down 3 to go. Game 2 still to come, UConn and Indiana. But this one's not over yet.
Got to be ready for a trap when you catch it. Good catch. And good job coming back to the ball.
Shannon going hard to the bucket and hitting the deck hard.
Left-handed, taking it up to dunk. And forced Wara to foul. Boy, this young man has got a lot of game. He is a baller, man. And he shoots over 80% from the. I guess you got the hair. He's got it all. Quickly, guys.
Well, it depends how quickly you give up the fight. Some people it doesn't go as quickly as it should.
Some people like me surrender. Great steal.
Holyfield. And it won't go down for him, and it's back to Wara. Boy, it's a scramble right now. They need one, and they won't get it. It's an air ball by Sutton, whose shoulders just sagged after that shot missed.
Now it's about keeping control of the ball and knocking free throws down, because they're going to have to start fouling. And there's the first.
We know that at this point have separated themselves, and the rankings will fluctuate wildly this year. But to your point, this is impressive. McMahon went looking for the foul. He doesn't get it.
Smart of the officials not to fall for that.
And Clark, his back landed out of bounds before he outworked the other team every single time you step on the floor. Don't go to Lubbock, because that's what Chris Beard demands of his players.
The officials just called a technical, I think, on Chris Mack. Really surprising, but in the officials' defense, I mean, I don't bench decorum. You'd like to see a whistle.
Remember, we started to tell you at the top of the show, Texas Tech came here last year. They didn't beat Duke, but they made a statement about what.
Off to the floor to another standing ovation. I think they're going to get one, because Texas Tech has been the tougher team. This is gone too. I mean, that's a lot of players to lose. Boy, Texas Tech has earned this one.
It's one heck of a W for this program. Sutton back out to McMahon. All they can do is launch shots right now. McMahon will hit one, and Chris Mack will. The Hoosiers coming up about 20 to 25 minutes after the conclusion of this game.
Great job with that program.
We talked about it. And Moretti keeps knocking him.
But it only takes him 100.
Kimball. And a foul.
That's one thing. A set defense is such an advance that they'd better listen. And I took them out of their game. Texas Tech was the stronger and tougher team in this game. But if I were Chris Mack, you know,
there was that stretch midway through the second half where they went inside
with alertness. There were not a lot of blockouts, frankly, in the first half. They got beat up in that way, and there was shot selection. Louisville can shoot. Their shot selection was poor in this game. So their decisions, and you give credit to the Texas.
By the underdogs and the undermanned Red Raiders tonight without their leading scorer in Jamias Ramsey. As Holyfield launches a three with a shot clock running down, and that's your exclamation point on this game.
We're going to hear from Texas Tech all year long through the Big 12 and beyond. What a statement by Texas Tech. This was Ramsey, their leading scorer. Remarkable.
For the fourth time this year, the #1 ranked team in the nation suffers a defeat. And what a big win for Chris Beard and the Red Raiders here in New York City. They do it by double digits, beating Louisville 70-57, snapping their 3-game losing streak and putting people on notice that they should not be taken lightly just because there's been a lot of turnover in the program from last year to this year.
I feel like we should give them a standing ovation just for the effort. I mean, just tremendous heart and effort and certainly execution. They executed their game plan better than Louisville executed theirs.
Benson a big part of that effort, but it was really everybody who came into the game wearing the red jerseys tonight who played incredibly hard the entire night. A 70-57 win for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Let's go to Holly Rowe.